What the heck? This video was originally supposed to be comparing 3 different brands of jeans, but as you just saw, this is what I got. It wasn't a repeat of the Everlane video. I did pull out the tape measure and I did follow the size chart, so Warp and Weft is officially disqualified from this video. I did exchange them for a new size and we'll talk about them in another video. So now it's down to Levi's versus Wrangler. Which is better in terms of fit, design, quality, and sustainability? First of all, let's just talk about fit, because even if these jeans were made of the best materials and was the most sustainable company on earth, if the jeans don't fit, it kind of takes itself out of the running. Your jeans and your pants and all of your clothes should look good and feel good on your body. And I just want to get this out there. Jeans should not be uncomfortable. They should fit you well. They should look good on you, and they should be breathable. Like, you should not be out and about waiting for the moment you get home so you could take off your jeans. Like, jeans should not be that uncomfortable. So let's try these on and see which ones fit better. Every time I put on a pair of Levi's, I am so surprised with how perfect they fit. And now, owning a few pairs of Levi's since my Levi's review, you would think I wouldn't be so shocked anymore, but I'm shocked. The cut of these pants are very beautiful. They fit so nicely around the hip area. They're not too tight around my waist. They literally fit like a glove. These are a 30-inch inseam, and again, they fit absolutely perfect. It's as if I was their model and they designed these pants for me. Like, that's how well Levi's fits. And they're so comfortable. Like, these are quite stretchy as well. You can squat, you can get back up, and the pants stay in place. On my torso, the pants come right to the belly button, and I think this is like the perfect high waist height. These ones are the Wranglers, and these ones are made of 99% cotton, so they definitely have less stretch in them. However, they're still very comfortable, even though they're not like stretchy like yoga pants. They come up right to my belly button, so they're the same height as the Levi's, but they definitely do feel like tighter around the thigh area and even just a little tighter on the waistband because there's less elastic. But I do feel like these would stretch out over time due to the high amount of cotton in them. As you just saw, both of these jeans are flared jeans. And the reason why I chose flared jeans for this video is because I personally have just been gravitating towards flared jeans, and I wanted a pair that looked and felt good on me. The current pair of flared jeans I have are the Hey Joni Lala jeans, and as I wore the jeans more and more and broke in the jeans, the flare naturally got a little smaller. They go more front to back than side to side, as jeans typically do as you wear them in. And I noticed that the flare was just not as flared as I'd like it to be, and that's why today's video is featuring flared jeans from both brands. Talking about the design for the Levi's first, because initially when I first put them on, I thought they were the perfect cut, perfect design, and I really liked the way these looked on me at first. After my excitement wore off from wearing the jeans for the first time and fawning over the design, I did realize that the flare of the jeans aren't that flared, and after breaking them in, I feared that they would look the same as the Hey Joni's do, where they don't flare enough at the bottom for me. And I did pull out my Hey Joni's to compare the flare with the Levi's. It's a few millimeters off, but they're essentially the same width at the bottom, meaning that over time, if I were to continue to wear these Levi's, they could potentially just look a little more straight leg than I'd like them to. That's just all personal preference on design. Versus comparing the flare on the Wrangler jeans, which they did turn out to be way more flared than I thought they would be. The flare at the bottom of the pant compared to the Levi's is only about an inch wider when folded in half, so however much bigger that is circumference wise, I'm not sure, but it is only just a tad more flared. So I feel like as I wear the Wranglers more, they will become a little more narrow and just be that subtle, nice looking flare that I was looking for, and not as flared as those like retro 70s bell bottom looking flares, because I definitely didn't want a look that was too extreme in any which way, because I do hope to be able to wear these jeans for years and years, and I didn't want the jeans to look too dated or too trendy over time. While looking at the jeans brand new on me, they do look a little like extra flared. Overall, they're not that much more flared than the Levi's, so I do believe after wearing them and breaking them in, they will look a little less flared than they currently do. With that being said, looking at the Wrangler jeans on, I actually like the proportion proportion of how flared the bottoms are compared to like the top half of my body. I've been wearing skinny jeans for so many years because that's just been what was in. And now, since so many different jean styles are in, there's just more options out there. And after experimenting with some different pant styles and pant legs, I really do like how a wider bottom kind of balances out my proportions a little bit better. And this is all personal preference. Moving on to the color of the jeans, this isn't really a fair comparison because the color that the Wrangler jeans are in is actually my third choice. My first two choices are these two, and they're sold out in my size and my length, so I resorted to getting these ones. And while they're not bad, there's a little bit more gray in the jean. The color of the Levi's are definitely more of an intense blue color. They look a little less casual compared to the Wrangler jeans, and when I look at the jean without it being on, it actually doesn't look that bad. However, when I do put the Levi's on, my eyes get really drawn to the vertical stripes in the fabric, and I really don't like how it looks when it's on. And while we're talking about the color of the jeans, I think it's important to note that the Wrangler jeans are made of 99% cotton and 1% spandex, whereas these Levi's in particular are made with 65% cotton, 21% viscose EcoVero, 7% polyester, 5% elasto-multiester, and 2% elastane. The elasto-multiester is, I believe, another word for lycra. I think the viscose in these jeans, especially when the jeans are on, make the jeans look a little bit reflective, kind of like the Everlane cardigan that I have that is also made of viscose. It reminds me of those like netted plastic bags that you get from the grocery store. It's that feeling blended with this cotton, still gives it that reflective quality. It just doesn't look as great to me when compared to a jean that is made of 99% cotton. So in that aspect, between these two pairs of jeans, in terms of color and like look of them, I am leaning towards the Wrangler because I like the way the dye looks on cotton versus the dye on these jeans. And the reason why I think it's the viscose that's making the jeans look kind of reflective is because I have this pair from Hey Joni, and this is also a cotton polyester blend. It's made of 56.9% cotton, 21.3% polyester, 20.3% lyocell, and 1.5% spandex. And while lyocell and viscose are both made of wood pulp, they are different materials, and you can see in this pair of jeans, even when I'm wearing them and the material is stretched out, you can't easily tell that this pair of jeans is not made of 100% cotton. While these jeans are more stretchy, they're not reflective, making this jean look more natural versus these Levi's right here. If you can see the difference, these are the Hey Joni's and these are the Levi's. The Hey Joni's just look a lot softer color-wise, and they just look more natural. It also is a little bit of an unfair comparison to compare the Levi's to the Hey Joni's because the Levi's cost about $60 and the Hey Joni's cost about $160. And before I knew anything about jeans and denim, I assumed the more expensive jeans were just higher quality, but that might not always be the case. And while we're comparing these two jeans styles, I think if we're comparing the two companies, it would be more fair to compare the 99% cotton Wrangler jeans to a similar material in Levi's, and we do have that here. These are the 100% cotton Levi's. Although different color, they are nearly made of the same material, and they are a very similar price. These are the Levi midi jeans, and similar price when these are on sale. On sale, this one's $63.98 right now. However, the original price is $98. The Wrangler jeans at full price are $59.99, and on their website, Wrangler does have crazy sales, and their jeans can go all the way down to like the $20 range. But Levi's also has crazy sales, and they also have some jeans for, you know, around the $20 range. But just for the sake of this video, to compare these jeans, these Levi's are a heavier weight compared to the Wrangler jeans. But while we're talking about the cotton, let's talk about how we can tell whether a jean is a high quality denim or not. I say this all after my boyfriend tried to explain this to me many times over the span of many years, and it essentially goes like this. Uniformity of the dye and the weave, looks like a checkerboard between the quality of the jean. You also need to think about the breathability and how it affects the way it sits on you, how it fades and wears over time. And that's how you can tell the difference between the quality of the jeans. It doesn't go quite like that. I do ask him many questions, and he does have to explain himself over and over again multiple times. So instead of sitting around around and telling you guys about something I only half understand still at this point. I'm just gonna show you how these Wrangler jeans wear, how much they stretch, what they look like after the first wash, how much dye comes off, and if it shrinks back to the original size or if they shrink a little bit too much. After wearing the jeans for about like 10 minutes and sitting in them, standing back up, they actually fit really nicely now. They're no longer tight around the waistband. The thigh area also loosened up. They fit pretty much as well as the Levi's do. I also did a quick workout in these. I squatted and did some lunges, and then I did some boxing, so nothing like crazy. I didn't do like leg day in these jeans, but they were actually fairly comfortable. I'm able to do like high knees, and while it pulls a little bit around the butt area when I do this, obviously we're in jeans, it's really not bad. Like, the amount of stretch this has is pretty impressive, and I'm able to squat all the way down and get back up and not have to readjust my pants. So if I were to have dropped something on the floor, I can pick it back up and I don't need to readjust my pants. So far, really good. I also noticed that when I'm sitting in the jeans, they're still very comfortable, and the button does not dig into my belly button, which some jeans do, and it's like a little uncomfortable. Another thing I want to look out for in these jeans in particular is that around the crotch area there's quite a bit of fabric, and I'm keeping an eye out for this area in particular because the jeans, when shown on the model right here, looks like there's quite a bit of fabric like gathered up around the crotch area, and it's not like the most flattering look. Like, I don't necessarily like that look for jeans, so we will keep an eye out on that. I'm gonna go put on my Levi's that are also 100% cotton just to compare how much it stretches. If I squat and get back up, do I need to readjust the pants? Granted, those ones I've already broken in, washed, and dried, and they already retain my figure very well, and they're not high rise, so there's quite a few differences between these two pairs of jeans. But just talking about the quality of the fabric and fit, I will show you guys how those perform in comparison to these. Please excuse my fuzzy socks. There is quite a bit of fabric around the crotch area here too, and I never noticed that before, so I'm thinking the Wrangler ones will probably be fine. In terms of stretch, these ones definitely stretch a lot less. They're much more structured of a pant compared to the Wrangler jeans, but I can still get quite a bit of range of motion in these jeans. I can squat still, and I only need to readjust the pant minimally. But I also feel like it's because of the rise of the pant. If I were to have dropped something on the ground, I could pick them up comfortably and yeah, not really need to readjust. These are just a heavier weight cotton, so in my mind, they just feel a little higher quality. They're a stiffer cotton, and I do like that feeling for some jeans, but it really depends on what the jeans are being used for. I did sit in a like 7-hour road trip in these jeans, and they were comfortable enough. They really didn't bother me at all. But I feel like the Wrangler jeans would be even more comfortable just because they're a little lighter weight and a little more stretchy versus these ones. Especially for flared jeans, I'm not sure I'd like something this stiff. So I think it just depends on the style and purpose, like what you're wearing the jeans for. But I don't know, every time I wear the Levi's, I always like stand around like, wow, these feel really good. And they look really good too. I feel like they cut the butt area like very nicely to retain a shape. I think they just do a really good job design-wise. But wearing these for sure feels like I'm wearing a $100 pair of jeans. Whereas the Wrangler jeans, let me put them back on and let me see. The Levi's, I feel like, remembered where my body was and held its shape, and it feels like I'm wearing like a mold of my bottom half of my body in the Levi's. Whereas these Wranglers, I know they're still very new. I haven't really broken them in yet. It just feels like I'm wearing a pair of pants on my body, if that makes sense. Like, the Levi's definitely remembers the shape of my body a lot more versus these ones, as of right now, just feel like I'm wearing a pair of pants, a very comfortable pair of pants, but feels like I'm just wearing a pair of pants. Like, they don't feel like a $100 pair of pants, which is fine because they're not $100, even at full price. They're only $60. I think with these jeans, time will tell.
1 week later.
So I've been wearing these jeans for about a week now, and I've been wearing it from morning to night, so I want to say at least 10 to 11 hours per day. They're actually very, very comfortable, but I did notice that they've been stretching out a lot more and a lot faster than any other pair of jeans that I've worn. And maybe it's because the cotton is very lightweight. There's such a minimal amount of elastane in there that I didn't expect it to really bounce back, but I did expect it to hold its shape a little bit more. When we first tried on the jeans, it was pretty tight around my thighs and a little bit snug around my waist, but now they're pretty loose around my thighs. However, they're still holding its shape. I still think the pant looks like a really good shape, and I really like the way the pant leg flares out now. It's just the right amount of flare that I was looking for. It's got a little bit of extra material around the butt area, and around the crotch area right here there is quite a bit of excess material and it's stretched out a little bit, but it doesn't look anything like the picture on the website. Luckily, it doesn't look like weird and bulky. I have noticed that the zipper isn't that smooth though. It does get caught, and I do think it's because of the extra fabric. It's not as straight, so it's just a little wavy, so every time it gets caught on a bump it gets a little stuck and you have to like not wiggle it around. It's just not a smooth zipper, but it's not like a nuisance in any way. It just kind of gets caught. Doesn't feel like the highest quality zipper, especially compared to the Levi's zipper. The Levi's zipper is definitely a lot smoother and a little bit heavier, but I am eager to know how much it shrinks after the first wash and if it'll stretch out again just as fast or even faster. So I'm gonna wash it today and I'll wear it again and let you know my final thoughts. But this whole week while wearing these jeans, I have been really liking the look of them. So we've washed and dried the jeans, and typically after the first wash, the jeans should kind of remember where your body is, like where your knees bend, where your butt protrudes, and these ones kind of remember where my knees are. Not too crazy, but it's also like where it starts to flare out, so not too surprised that it's not as molded to my body. So let's try them on and see how they fit. So the jeans essentially shrunk back to the size it was originally, except the waistband and the waist area seems to fit my body a lot better than when it first came in. When it first came in, I feel like the waistband kind of went in like this, but now it's kind of straight, like how my body is, and the butt area shrunk right back to the original fit, so it fits really nicely now. It doesn't have that excess fabric like bunching up. It's not saggy anymore. Again, it feels snug around the upper thigh area, and it's just a really like perfect fit again. I don't feel like it's as perfect or like as much of a mold of my body as the Levi's were, but again, it could have something to do with the cut of the pant and maybe because that denim was a little thicker versus this one. I did hand wash these in cold water and I laid them out to dry, so the same exact thing as what I do with all of my jeans. I did notice a lot of dye came out when I was washing them, but even so, when I was wearing like a white sweater with the jeans before washing and when I was sitting on my white couch, the dye didn't transfer onto the couch or any seat that I was sitting on, and it didn't rub off on any of my clothes, which is really nice. If I could get these jeans to fit like this like all the time, that would be perfect. Also kind of unrealistic since these are like 99% cotton and cotton does naturally stretch. But my boyfriend did say that after like the 5th wash, it should stretch less and shrink less. Like it shouldn't have that much variation in size. So we shall see. I'll probably update you guys on a community post or even as a pinned comment down below after the 5th wash to let you guys know if that's the case or not. But since I won't be washing these very often, it probably will take a while for me to get to that point. I did notice that when I'm just standing straight and like not with one foot in front of the other, I do notice that the flare actually got pretty small. Like it almost looks like a straight leg once again, but not as much as the Hey Jonies do, just because this flare is naturally bigger. But it did go front and back a lot more and became way less flared after the first wash versus when I do stand with one foot in front of the other and kind of like, you know, pop the knee. It does look flared again, and I really do like the silhouette of the jean, but just standing like completely straight, feet together, they do look way less flared than before I washed them. But at least the width of the pant down at the ankle is still equivalent to the width of my thigh and or a little bit wider, so it does give more of that flared effect than the Hey Jonies do. Alright, I'm gonna wear these around for a few more hours, get ready, film another video. By that time, we'll see if it stretched out as much as it did the first time or not, and I will give you my final thoughts. So a few more hours have passed since I washed these jeans and put them on again, and they're stretching out essentially at the same rate as they were the first time. They're not incredibly loose yet, but I do see them stretching out more as I wear them more, and hopefully by the 5th wash, the fluctuation in size and how much it stretches and shrinks will hopefully be a little bit less. But let's get into my final thoughts. Touching upon breathability, the Wrangler jeans, while I did work out in them, but it was cold so I didn't sweat, I can't judge how breathable it is in warmer weather, but standing out in the backyard when it's been, you know, kind of cold, like 50 degrees, the jeans surprisingly kept me pretty warm. I didn't feel the cold hit my legs. I'm actually surprised how warm these Wrangler jeans kept me despite how lightweight they are. And the Levi's, I've mainly been wearing them in the summer and they have been quite breathable and I haven't been sweating in them. Wearing them in the winter also blocks out the cold. So overall, who wins this competition, Levi's or Wrangler? In this particular video comparing the two flared jeans, Wrangler wins for sure because I really did not like the way the Levi's looked when it was stretched out. The dye was just a little reflective because of the viscose in there, so I did not like them. I already returned them, and the design, the flare was just not flared enough for me. It just wasn't what I was looking for right now. As for sustainability, both Levi's and Wrangler are rated by Good On You for being good for the planet. As I was looking into Wrangler, because I was still just in disbelief about their prices and how low their prices are for the quality of denim that you're getting, Wrangler actually talks a lot about sustainability on their website. You can meet their farmers of where they source their cotton from, and one of their facilities was even rebuilt to LEED Gold standards, which from what I know, which is very little, that is like a pretty good standard. However, Good On You rates its people rating as not good enough, as none of its supply chain is certified by crucial labor standards to help ensure worker health and safety, living wages, and other rights, and it only received a score of 31 to 40% in the 2023 Fashion Transparency Index, whereas Levi's scored a bit higher. And I have been overall surprisingly impressed with the quality of the Wrangler denim. But comparing the two brands themselves, if both of them had the exact same design and both of them were 99 to 100% cotton, I still would lean towards Levi's just because of the way the cotton is able to mold to my body. It feels like you're stepping into an Iron Man suit, like into a pantsuit that is molded to your body. Versus the pants from Wrangler, it's just like I'm putting on another pair of pants. It could be anyone's pant, like it wouldn't be specific to me. But it does depend on what you're wearing these pants for, like how lightweight these Wrangler jeans are and how comfortable they are. I probably would wear them on an international flight, whereas I most likely would not wear the Levi's on an international flight just because they're a little bit stiffer and a little bit thicker. So I think each has its purpose and they both have very different styles and designs, so it also depends on what you're looking for. I don't think you would be disappointed purchasing from either of these brands, especially when they're on sale. Let me know what you guys think and who you think should have won this contest. Are you guys team Levi's or team Wrangler? Or team whoever creates the best design for whatever occasion? If you've made it this far in the video, comment down below a little jean emoji and what's your favorite style of jeans to wear. Well, anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to support me and help my channel grow, if you have the time, I'd really appreciate if you watch another one of my videos next. It could be whichever one. The how much does it cost to dress like Rory video has some pretty atrocious outfits in there that I attempted to put together, so if you want a good laugh, you should watch that one next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!